Hello and welcome to the channel. In this video we'll see how to import data from Google Sheets in Excel using VBA macros. And we're gonna do it using the web query functionality. And this is what I'm using in this Excel application, the Football Predictions Pro, to import the data and show the results, the standings, or make the predictions. For example, here if I want to make the predictions for the following next days, it will import the data from Google Sheets in here, and so I'm using Google Sheets as a database to store the data, and the data is being updated in Google Sheets through some automation, APIs, etc. There are some other ways to do it, like sending a HTTP request to get the data, but that returns the data as a text or as a JSON format and requires some processing, so it's a bit more complicated. But if you're interested to know more about it, just share it in the comments and I'll do another video about that. Let's go to the Visual Basic Editor and add a new module and sub import Google Sheets query. And we have already seen how to add a simple web query in a worksheet in another video in this channel. I'll leave the link in the description so you can check that in more detail. But basically, we need a variable as a query table, so Qt as query table, and then we add the query with set Qt equals active sheet query tables add, and we need a connection which is a URL connection, semicolon here, and here we need the URL variable. We'll get to that in a moment. And then the destination is just going to be a place in the worksheet, so range A1 for example. But before we do that, we may want to clear the sheet and any other previous query table. So if active sheet query tables.count is greater than 0, then active sheet query tables 1 delete. And here active sheet cells clear. Now we need the URL. So let's go to Google Sheets. And here's the sheet example I want to import. It's just football or soccer scores for the Spanish Premier League. And the sheet needs to be public. So here, just change from restricted to anyone with the link. And then we copy the link. And I'm going to put it here for now as a comment. But this is just the sharing link. It allows for others to view or edit the file depending on the permissions on the browser. We cannot query that link. We need this other URL path instead. So URL as a string, and we're going to copy that here. And that's simply spreadsheets.google.com with a specification to output the data as an HTML. And you'll see that in a moment it's going to be an HTML table. Then here we're adding the key for the spreadsheet. Okay, and the key is actually here after the letter D. So I'm going to select all of this until the next /. So I'm going to copy that. That's the key for our spreadsheet that we need. So I'm going to put it here as a key, and I will declare that key as a string as well. And we just need to add it to the URL. So % here and the key. Okay, sometimes we may need also the GID. The GID, so let me go back to Google Sheets here. Here in the URL, it says edit, and then at the end it says GID, and it gives you a number. You may need that sometimes also to import the data. So we don't really need it here, but I'm going to add it anyway. So that would be the GID. Let's declare it also GID as a string. And if you need to use that too, you just concatenate here. Let's move to the next line. So you concatenate here using the same URL structure, GID equals, and then % the GID. Okay, and now this link that we've built here is going to show the data as a table. So let's go to the browser. If we paste this in the browser, it's going to look like this. So it looks like a table with the data in the Google Sheets. And this is what we're going to import in a web query. So back to the Visual Basic Editor. Now we just need to do with Qt. First thing we'll do is to set the web selection type as one of these options, and we're going to have all the tables. So it's just one big table. And then we will just refresh and end the with statement here. And we can run the macro, and that should now import the data. It says external data, getting data, and there it is. That's all the data almost instantly in Excel. And it has a web formatting. If we don't want to have that, we just set up here the web formatting none. If we run it again, now we get the raw data with no formatting. And that's how we import data from Google Sheets in Excel using VBA macros. Thanks for watching.